Hi everyone, thanks for joining today's webinar. My name is Jorn, I'm one of the co-founders of WordApp.com. I hope you guys can hear me. I was afraid a bit that nobody would be joining today, but it seems we have a couple people. Johanna, we have Tracy. Are you guys working on these sites, or Johanna, you passed your site, I think, right?
Yes, I did.
That's very good. So are you working on any new sites already?
Yes, I have one.
That is
one in process.
Okay, so after you pass page 4, of course, it gives you access to building more WordPress sites for clients in WordApp or for our own networks. So be sure to check in with your elite WordApper to make sure you get a couple of sites each week to work on. We have, as you may have noticed, launched a couple more batches recently. We're working on still making that a bit more organized, but the next batch will be about editing. And then we have some batches where we control on how you can build your own templates and how you can run your own projects completely as well. So be sure to check those out too. You can find it on our WordUp channel. Like every week on Monday, I'm doing a couple of site reviews today, just to go through some of the sites a bit and see what you guys think of it, what I think of it, what we can improve, and answer any questions. I want to talk a bit about keyword research again. I will do that throughout site review. Then, of course, if there's any questions, I will be answering those too. So let's start looking at a couple of the sites that I have for this week. Let's see. This is the first one that I got from Sanna. It's someone who built a batch 4 site. My Finnish sucks, so I'm not going to look too much at the keywords and the content. That's what Sanna does. But what do you guys think of this site? Good, not good? Joanna, what do you think? You speak Finnish.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. Yes.
Yeah.
What do you think can be improved?
Well, if you would, or if you should put a picture which reflects to this main keyword. Now maybe these hands are not saying that we are talking about Romani people. Is it in English?
Yeah,
Romani
I'm just
people.
Google translating it now. Yes.
Yes.
No, you're right. I mean, I think the site, it doesn't really reflect what it is about too much. I mean, here the images that don't really say too much. I think the menu here at the top, it's very right. I mean, it's completely to the centers, which makes it a bit difficult to use, I think, so far apart. Colors, not a big fan of either. I mean, it's not a bad site, but yeah, it's very, very, very basic. I mean, here at the bottom, there is some nice stuff going on with the Q&As, but the green doesn't really fit here at all, the colors. So yeah, not really a big fan of this site. Keyword, the email address here, it's not clickable. I mean, with a bit more effort, you can take the background away from this image and you actually have just an image without the white background. Not really a big fan of this site. Same here. I mean, this is the only image that actually seems good so far, and it is too big. I mean, there's a lot of white space below it. So yeah, I don't think this is a particularly good website, to be honest. Seems here as if the fonts are changing all of a sudden. So here it's very big, here it becomes a lot smaller. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of this. Here as well, this page just looks broken to me. I mean, it's completely lined out on the left. There's no sidebar with any information in it or whatsoever. The blog post doesn't seem to have any internal links in it either. So yeah, I think this is a bit, yeah, there's an internal link here. Roman needs, okay, that goes to the home page, but it's opening in a new tab. So that is very awkward. I mean, that's not how you would navigate the site. So this site, it needs some love. This, like this, we cannot approve this site. It needs some more going through and seeing what is all going on here. it's definitely not ready to pass. What do you think, Joanna? Do you agree or?
Yes, I agree.
Good. I have another Finnish site here. This is actually someone who has been building sites for a while. But this one stood out a bit to me, and not in a positive way necessarily. Joanna, you're the only one with a microphone, it seems, who can talk. What do you think? And Tracy, you, of course, can say some stuff in the chat as well.
Okay, we have dog breed, which is Keeshond, I think. Keeshond. It's some kind of dog breed, I guess. Or is it like kennel for the...
No, it seems, I mean, it's a dog breed. I mean,
Okay.
Keeshond, yeah.
All right.
So, what do we think of this website? What do you think, Joanna?
Well, maybe same thing as in the previous one, that the whole the sentences are wide. Maybe it could be like some kind of.
It's very
sharing.
difficult to read like this, especially on a laptop or desktop. It's very difficult to read like this. I mean, starting from the top, I think the menu is good. I mean, it has some site next to it, which makes it looks a bit more organized. I think the image here at the top is terrible. It's just a repeating image. So if I open this on mobile, I see this dog like 20 times, which is just not what I want. I think it's a terrible image for the header here. This, of course, way too wide, but also, I mean, I don't speak Finnish, but I see Keeshond a lot of times on this page. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, it keeps on going. So the keyword density is way too high here. And I don't know why that is happening or what is going on here, but that doesn't make any sense to me at all. I think, yeah, it seems like this site has been built very quickly. I mean, this green, again, has nothing to do with the other colors of the page. Don't understand why it is green. Here we have the link, which seems to be correct. Here we have some stuff going on. So I told you in the introduction a bit that I would talk about keywords as well. So the keywords here, I actually Google translated them before I started the webinar, but health and character, by itself, obviously not bad keywords, but they have nothing to do directly with the focus keyword of the entire site, which is Keeshond. So obviously, when you read the text, it's talking about the character of this particular dog type or breed. But if you rank for this keyword, I mean, people searching for character are not going to look for, I mean, a very, very small percentage is going to look for the character of this particular dog type. So the keywords here are very, very off. So does that make sense, Joanna, what I mean with that? Or do I need to explain that better?
It makes sense, yes. Yes.
So when you're building sites like this and you're doing the keyword research, you need to figure out keywords that actually have something to do with what this site is about. And you can imagine, I mean, it can be on a very, very big level. So if you're doing an e-commerce site, I mean, like we have the Naked project in a lot of languages where we're writing product descriptions. If you have shoes as a keyword, it is incredibly broad, or Adidas as a keyword. Adidas is a very broad keyword. They sell shoes, they sell bags, they sell tracksuits, they sell watches, they sell all kinds of different things. So if you have someone coming to your site on that keyword, Adidas, they could be looking for the history of Adidas, they could be looking for investor information, they could be looking for shoes, they could be looking for bags, they could be looking for all kinds of things. So a keyword like that is extremely broad is great, but, and it usually has a lot of searches, but it's not really something that you can do anything with down the line right away. It's very difficult to convert someone who is looking for a very big keyword like that to actually have them to buy something. So here, these keywords, health and character, I mean, I think 99% of people searching for health, especially currently, they're looking for information about people health, not about dog health or even like more specific case hunt health. So these keywords, they don't work. This needs to be completely rewritten, these 2 pages. These cannot continue like this. It will just not help anything with the site. It doesn't help anything with the ranking. If you look at the previous site we looked at, so we have, of course, the Romanid as the keyword, and then we have 2 sub pages here. One is Romanid language and one is Romanid culture, very closely related to our homepage. So this makes a lot more sense, of course. So people that look for the Romani language, they're going to get a lot of information there, but they're probably also interested in culture or actually in the whole overview of the site. So these ones make way more sense as keywords. These ones, not at all. It's not going to work. This needs to be rewritten completely. I have one more dog site here. Let's see. It seems to be Google translating right away. Let's see if I can get it in Finnish as well. That's annoying. Let's see. What do we think of this site? Tracy in the chat or Johanna, what do you guys think?
This looks nicer.
Way nicer.
Oh, yes.
I think.
Yeah.
Very good. This one I'm not a big fan of. So it seems here when they copy pasted the text, it seems to me as if there is some HTML coding that was copied as well. I want to look into that. I will show you guys in a minute what I mean with that. But overall, I mean, it's a way livelier site. The colors are very good. All the colors fit from the up button here in the right corner to these brackets around here. I mean, all the colors fit very nicely. I mean, this is clearly a site someone has actually spent a little bit of time on. So I think that is really good. Keywords wise though, let's see what all these keywords mean. I don't know, of course. Kennels, dog shows, yeah, of course they're related to dogs, but I'm guessing that they could be a bit more focused around the actual dog breed. So not just kennels in general, but I mean the actual, and it actually is done here, so that is correctly done. So while the menu here says kennels, the actual keyword is Havana dog kennels, so that is good. So yeah, I think this site is excellent. The person who built this did a very, very good job. Let's see if I can find anything that is wrong. Good. That fits as well. Yeah, really good site this, I think. This one, the person who built it is a very, very good job. Also these buttons here, very clear where I have to click to do the read more. We talked about that last week a bit, of course. So I think that is very good. The only thing I just want to look at is this text formatting. Let's see if I can log into the site. That takes a while. This one. No, that seems to be correct. Yeah, that seems all good actually. So what you sometimes see when you're copy pasting text, and of course this is in Finnish right now, but here it says visual and here it says text. When you're copy pasting text from Word app directly or from a Google Doc or something into the visual part here, sometimes it adds HTML coding that you can see here around the text, which makes the text looks a bit funky on the site. So always when you copy paste text, paste it in the text part, that ensures that you don't get any additional HTML coding that you don't actually want. So this page, very good job, whoever built this. Of course, I didn't check it on mobile. I didn't go through it all the way, but first sight, very, very good page this. Joanna, do you have any questions that you want to go through or things that you have been working on?
On my side, what I'm working on now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, I'm quite. It's almost ready. One content page text is missing, and then I think my site would be ready. I think it's quite okay.
Okay.
Well, we can check it if you want. I don't mind
sure,
getting some more tips.
That's
Actually,
what these webinars are for. So
I copied the URL.
Okay.
Well, actually, in the site, the main image on the first page, I thought, let's see how it shows in here. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guess what does it say? Because
this is Finland, right?
yeah,
Or,
this is
yes.
Finland, but the site is not Finland. It's like what's Esteetön? Oh, I have to check some. What is it?
Let's see, I probably have to log in here. This is probably 2 words. So what does this URL mean?
Its URL is Finland for everybody. So if you are using like wheelchair, you can travel in Finland.
Okay.
That's mainly the point. Yes.
Let's see. So was that like a campaign from the government or something with this slogan, or? Because I see it has a couple of keywords searches, it seems.
I'm not sure where this came from.
So, I mean, I think it's good. I mean, like the keyword, normally the H1 is only the keyword, of course. But here, I think it should have this for everybody as well. And then the subtitle, I mean, it explains a bit in the wheelchairs and accessibility and things like that. I think that is good. But I think you need to include it here, and also in the meta title, you need to include this for everybody, because it is a separate keyword itself as well. Otherwise, what you will get is, I mean, people searching for Finland or Finnish, and this is not necessarily the page they're looking for. So you want to, I mean, so when you want to get traffic to your page, it's not just that you want any and all traffic. You want people that are actually interested in your page. So by misleading people in the meta title or description, and I'm not saying you're doing that, but by not being clear there what the page is about exactly, you're getting that, I mean, people will leave your page prematurely, and Google will sort of punish that by not ranking your site as high as it should. For the rest, I think it is pretty good. You clearly put some time and effort in it.
I don't know. This the last one. I'm not sure how to make the page break so that it's this last button is in the same line with the others.
Okay.
That's the one I have been thinking about.
Very good. That's a good question. Yes. So there is a little trick for that usually works. Let's see if it works today. So most of the times those buttons, they actually accept HTML coding. So if you do a break icon there, it should work, but let's see.
Okay, I tried it, but let's see how you can
There's
do
a lot
it.
of different breaks in HTML, so maybe
Yeah.
I do a different one than you.
Yeah, maybe.
You're definitely, I mean, so those are the things when you're building sites, those are things that are important. I mean, it looks a bit funky. It's not the worst thing in the world, but just to add an extra section there usually makes it just a bit nicer. No.
Ah,
This works.
like that? Okay. Okay. Every day you learn something new.
Yeah.
Good.
So I think 2 breaks about with both letters and it works.
Okay,
So
good.
this is good. What I think here a bit with these things is since they're so big, they're H3s, it looks to me, I mean, when I come to this site and people are not very smart, I mean, not everybody is as smart as us when they come to a website. So it looks to me almost as if I should be able to click this somehow. It doesn't look like it's a list summarizing something. A list summarizing something would be way smaller. It would be most probably also not vertically, it would be a horizontal list. So I think this one, it's a bit confusing in terms of what I'm supposed to do here as a reader. We talked about that last week in the webinar a bit as well. So there is some global, I don't want to call it standards, but the way people always do a website. The contact information is always in the header or in the footer. You can find the contact information. You never have to look anywhere else because otherwise, I mean, it's just a bad website. Sometimes there's a contact page, but then it would be linked in the header or the footer. So it's the same thing here. I mean, if there's bullet points somehow explaining different sections, it would be a horizontal list that is the same as a normal text size. It wouldn't be bigger than that. Otherwise, it would be links. So when you do it vertically, it would usually be something that I can actually click. So this way, I don't think it makes too much sense. I would change that. This one, of course, there seems to be a rule. It seems to be in all the finished templates that I look at. There's a mistake here with the substitute in the keywords. And Sanna, maybe that's something you need to check at an update for the batch 4 templates. So when you have a substitute keyword, always put in the rule neither first nor last as a location. Then you never have this problem where the capitalization is off when you publish the text into WordPress. Because now, Joanna, you have to update this capital letter, of course.
Yeah, yes, yes.
For the rest, I think it looks quite good. This is nicely done. It's of course good. Let's see. That seems to be correct. Oops, English.
Liberty.
Yes.
It's like accessibility.
Yeah.
Main.
I mean, this is not an easy site to do the SEO for, obviously. Since it's a very specific topic, I'm not quite sure why we snapped this website to begin with. So this one is a bit tricky there. So I think you did actually quite good with this. Let's look at this page. See here somehow it seems to me that the text is changing, no? Or is that just me? It could just be me. This is good. Yeah, for the rest, it's a good site. This not bad, Jonna, not bad at all. What I said, the only thing I would change is this this H1. I would include this for all thing in there, and these list items here, I would do them as a horizontal list. Maybe do it in a second column next to this or something. But if you do it like this, it looks too much as if I am supposed to be able to click this somehow. What I said on some of our money sites, so sites that we're trying to monetize, we use something called, what do we call that? Let's see if I can find it like this, Hotjar. So there is tools online. I mean, you're obviously not using these for this tool for this website, but it's something called Hotjar, where you can see where it is that people actually click on your site and what people look at. I went through this in last week's webinar as well, but here, for example, you see an example of a website where you very clearly see that a lot of people click on the left item here. And normally, of course, on websites, you can imagine that the left one is actually the cheapest item. And then you go to the right, which is the most expensive. So what you could do with, for example, a website like this, if you would switch it around and make the first one the most expensive item, you have a good chance that you actually get more people to buy the more expensive item, or at least the middle one, which would be like different there. So playing around with things like this gives a lot of information there. And there is some universal truths that are always going to be correct there, that is always going to be used. And one of the examples there is that these list items like this, people are going to imagine that they can click on this and they will try to click, even though they can't. So in your heat map, you would see something like this, where people try to click on those while they can't, and people just get frustrated and they leave. So that's why I would change that. But for the rest, it's very good, Jana.
Okay, good tips.
Let's see,
Again.
anything else?
And I have to check the last week's webinar. I haven't done it yet, but now there is a teaser for me to do it.
That's good. So Tracy is asking some things in the chat, and question about selecting keywords. My site is beautymatters.ie. I picked beauty. No, so there is an entire, Tracy, there's an entire webinar about keyword research. Please find it online. So beauty is not the keyword that you need there. The keyword is, I mean, beauty matters. And there is an entire webinar about how to select keywords. So please check that one. It's in English for the English people, so that you go through that before you do anything there. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for me today. Jana, anything else? Tracy, anything else? Sanna, I think, is still hanging around. Anything else?
No, this is fine. Thanks.
All right, good. So next Monday, I am back with another site review webinar. I will try to go through a couple more sites then, because I actually have a good overview of what everybody is doing in all the languages now. So maybe we can do like 5-10 websites and do a bit more there with some voting, and maybe choose the best one that that was produced that week. This is not only for batch 4 people, of course. So it is for anyone who is building WordPress websites can submit their site. And I think next week we'll do it a bit as a bit of a quiz, and the person who wins the best site gets like 20 reward points for a free transfer or something, so that it keeps a bit interesting. And then tomorrow I have a webinar in English for any English writers working on their batches. I think tomorrow is also a Finnish webinar by Sanna, so please do check the website wordupvote.com/courses and go through that, so that you can join us on other webinars too. Thanks a lot for joining, guys, and hope to see you again next week. As I said, we'll go through a couple more sites then, and I'll make it a bit more interesting for you guys so that you can actually win something as well. And then hope to see you again then. Have a nice week and talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.